Aaron Sparks here with Edge of the Web, and we're here at BrightonSEO 2025 with SE Ranking. I got the privilege to be able to hear Wil Reynolds' keynote presentation here this morning. Wil Reynolds with Seer Interactive. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Your podcast is going to come out pretty soon on our channel here, so I was really excited to be able to grab a hold of you and talk a little bit more about what your mission is right now. We talked about this on the way over here, but you're inspiring, Wil, because you're really telling people to cut the crap, cut the BS, stop doing the same old shit. I'm going to be using some of your own phraseology there.
We are.
But we're up against AI and AI mode right now. Tell me some of the things that you're seeing in the marketplace and what you're trying to challenge people to push back from.
So the thing that I'm finding that it's working, and it's sad that it's working, is we are back to 2007 style search tactics are working.
Right.
White text, white background works.
Right.
Bunch of words in a footer on a bunch of pages over and over and over again works. And what we're trying to do is open source our tests so people can see, oh crap, that works. Because you know what? I stood on this stage last year keynoting, and I told people, this is an inflection point, do the higher quality stuff, and you will get rewarded. I got to come back when I have the data that proves that that's not happening anymore, and that this low quality stuff is working. Right. And I think somebody's got to shine a light on that. Yep. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to also say, you have an inflection point in your career. You can say this low quality stuff works, so I'm going to do it. Or you're going to say that low quality stuff works, I'm going to find a way to get the same results in a higher quality way. You're
also talking to not only companies, but you're talking to people in their career. And that's what you're really investing in right now, is people that are in SEO, newcomers that are coming into SEO, as well old practitioners that need to shake off some of these old practices, because it's very gratifying whenever you see some of the old things coming back around and giving you some wins, right?
I know. So what the problem, I think, is leadership has a set of KPIs that were built on what search could do 5 years ago. Right. The world has now changed, but the KPIs are still stuck in the old mode. Right. So if the KPIs and how I put food on the table for my family are stuck in 2020, then I'm going to hit those KPIs. And what that means is, are we now going to be rewarding our SEO teams for doing low quality work to get into the LLM to hit the KPI that's the wrong damn KPI in the first place? So I don't think the average marketer is able to push up as hard against the infrastructure of their organization. Right. So I'm trying to push it down, and I'm trying to get more VPs of search, more VPs of digital, more CMOs to be like, oh, he's right. So if that's the case, I probably got the wrong KPIs. And once you say that, you can change the work of the people, but the other way around doesn't work as well.
Right, so it doesn't, and you've been talking about that on stage. We saw you over at SEO Week in New York as well, and shifting the KPIs. It's not click traffic, because obviously click traffic's going down. SEO ranking is incredibly volatile right now, but you're tracking the consumer. You're trying to go where they are at a per client basis, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
So what I'm finding, and I believe anybody will agree with this, is people are in more channels than ever to figure out what things to buy, what services, what products, whatever, right? Right. So if you know people are in more channels, and measurement has gotten harder. Right. Facebook Advantage doesn't give you data. Performance Max used to take away a bunch of data. Now you get a little bit back. Right. We've always had not provided. Now you've got direct. So when somebody does come in from WhatsApp, that doesn't show up in your data anymore. It shows up as direct. People come from Facebook, that doesn't show up in your data anymore. It comes in as direct. So now you've got a time where the customer is more splintered than ever, and our ability to measure that customer is at the lowest point in my career. Wow. So that's a really interesting thing we have to work against. But our executives are stuck in a mentality of, why can't you just track this? You're like, you know that Apple deletes cookies after 7 days, right? So if our buying cycle is anything more than 7 days, now I've got people bouncing all around. I'm actually very anti-attribution right now. Really? Very.
Well, I mean...
when I just said what I just said. Right?
Yeah, of course.
So like think about it. Like, attribute what? I'm going to go to AI and ask a bunch of questions as part of my journey, and then I'm going to go and Google you, and then I'm going to go and convert, and your search team is going to be like, Google me, give me credit. And it's like, what about the fact that the customer service rep took really good care of somebody and they went and wrote a review on Reddit and then that got ingested, you're like, oh no, search is me. It's like, no, it's not. It's the customer service rep. So now that person's KPIs are also not reflective of their impact.
At all.
So now you've got a whole thing where you're like, damn, it's an interesting time we're in.
So how can you empower some SEO managers that don't have the VP's ear to be able to start running their own experiments and making the argument, be able to test things out? Because that was what you were actually saying on stage.
So I would say find a page on your website that has a high amount of citations from LLMs.
Okay.
So now you know a lot of your citations come from this page. Start changing stuff on that page. Don't ask anybody if you can change it, because nobody's really paying freaking attention.
Sure.
Right? Like too many people in our business, this is going to be provocative. They ask if they can do something because they know their boss is going to say no, so then it absolves them of testing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I asked Aaron. Aaron said no. Oh, I don't got no budget. It's like, don't do that. Aaron's not looking at this page every day. Aaron's never looking at that page because Aaron's actually in GA or some other tool talking about conversions in bigger numbers. You need to be like, I changed these 5 things, I changed this, I read this, and then I'm checking my citations, I'm checking my mentions. Ooh, that did make a change. Ooh, that didn't. So right now for my company, what I'm doing is because I'm the CEO, I get to be like, every 2 weeks, we're changing something on our website and seeing the impact and sharing it with everybody.
That's cool. That's cool.
What to be done is experimentation.
If it can come down from leadership and be able to light that type of experimental mindset, then you're empowering everybody to be able to try something out further.
And I will say this too, find a page that doesn't contribute to conversions. Because if you find a page that doesn't contribute to conversions, but has a good amount of citations, if you completely blow it up, it doesn't matter to the business. Do not do this on a major work page or something and experiment and then lose your search visibility potentially while trying to mess with your AI visibility.
Right. Okay.
Don't do
that.
Like Wil Reynolds said, be like, nope, fuck that. I didn't say that. I corrected the record.
All right. So last question here is, I was just overhearing another conversation you're having just regarding the tracking of the consumers, going where they are because the market's still there. They're just moving away, right? And we saw that SEO week. You saw your revenue demonstration as search was going down and your social was cranking way up, and that's the best attribution that you can possibly look at, right? But how do you crack open that additional budget for clients or internal?
You don't need any budget. Budget is for freaking suckers. I didn't get budget is for losers.
Okay.
Winners find a way.
There you go.
So I lost a marketing team of 4 people. I had 4 people doing full-time marketing at Seer.
Yeah.
It went to 0.
Right.
After the pandemic was safe and everybody was like, I'm gonna move on, went to 0. And I increased my social traffic, which is a better predictor of my revenue and leads than SEO traffic is. I increased it by 1,200% by myself in 10% of my time.
My God.
How does it happen that you have 4 people working 40 hours a week? That is 160 hours against me spending 25% of my time at 10. How does somebody with 10%, how does somebody with 10 hours beat a team with 160? No excuses. You gotta find a way to start testing. I was like, I'm gonna try this on LinkedIn. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try a wide image. I'm gonna try a square image. I'm gonna try things on X and see if it does good there. And then I'm gonna try it on LinkedIn and see if it fails there. Because remember, when you're optimizing for social, what you ultimately find out is every like, bookmark, share, whatever, for the most part, it's a human that liked it.
Right.
Not so much on X. More on LinkedIn.
Right.
So then you start to have these signals that in your gut, you're like, people liked this content. Like, I know they liked this content. So I'm willing to do more work on it, even if it's not giving me the signals that I wanted, because I know when humans get to it, they're like, this is good. I've shared it. I've helped more. I've sent it with other people. So to me, it's a whole new skill set that you gain when you start optimizing for humans, because I can take all that work I did on social, I can apply it to programmatic, I can apply it to email, I can use it with AI, I can use it with CRO, I can use it with SEO, I can use it with SEM. It doesn't matter. As long as people are buying shit, I now better understand what makes people tick in my industry, right? And it's just trying things. If you have a LinkedIn account, you can try shit.
Why are we so far from this that you literally said optimizing for humans, which was supposed to be the thing that we were doing the entire time?
It's been 13 years of me saying it. I think our KPIs lead our teams to do low quality shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to hit those quarterly numbers, and what happens is the idea of let's do a bunch of things on LinkedIn over time and try to help humans. You're going to go, but what's my attribution?
Right.
How do I know that the person that saw that post on LinkedIn did yada, 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 yada? And you're like, well, there is a way to get that. That's for another day. But there's ways to try to get some data that will directionally tell you that this stuff is worth doing. I think most people just aren't pushing themselves, man. It's like, think about it, right? I literally am saying 4 people, 160 hours versus a CEO who's got no extra time.
Right.
And I'm not going to be working 60, 70-hour weeks. I'm not that dude. So now you're like, how did he do that with only 10 hours? I focused on what mattered. I listened really closely to what people liked and didn't like. So every time I learned, I improved on the learning, I improved on the experiment, and I grew our social traffic by 1,200% with nobody on the team. It's doable.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that team didn't crank it out, but...
No, it's not even about the team. I was their leader. I set the wrong KPIs. All my presentations come from my own pain. I set the wrong KPIs for them. And therefore, they worked those KPIs. And then once they were gone, I had to have them all slowly leave over time. They all left. We didn't let anybody go. They all left over time. And once they all left, I was having to look at the dashboards and rebuild them. And I'm like, this isn't that good. Right. Oh shit! I was giving these people the wrong KPIs, so that was a me problem, not a them problem.
Roger that.
I've learned a lot though.
Got to take ownership. Yeah, and you got to lead it. You got to lead experimentation and give people the ability to fail as well.
I have all that. I gave them the wrong KPIs. Yep. And that's an example. That's a real example that we're trying to share with people. Absolutely. That that's what happens when you set your team up with the wrong KPIs.
All right. Will, thank you so much for your time today. One final thought. What can you give the listeners and the attendees running just a challenge as they're up against AI mode? A sentence of wisdom.
Don't do fucking listicles. Don't do that. You're not learning anything.
Right.
You're not learning anything. You're learning a temporary trick that will not help you in any other channel of marketing. And our customers are in more channels than ever. I've been beating that home, and now we know it. Yep. Our customers are in more channels than ever. Emails, Substacks, Mediums, WhatsApp, Reddit. They're in more places than ever. Right. What's common about all of those places? It's humans engaging with other humans, and you have to ask yourself, where have I made an investment in my career to get better at understanding humans? Nah, man, I just put low-quality crap on pages and build listicles. Well, when humans see that, we all know it's shit. Right. So whenever your customer moves into a new channel, I'm going to own you. So you better hope that the only thing people ever do when they're looking for an agency is go to AI, because I'm going to let you win that. Yep. They're going to find out that you really don't do all those things you said. You just auto-generated 10,000 pages for every industry. Yep. They're going to find out that I actually done it. So you go ahead and get them first, fuck it up, and then I'll take it over after you have proven that you shouldn't be picking your agency by asking ChatGPT. Boom.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, man. I'm sorry I was hard to get.
No, you're good.
Thank you. Thank you for recording.